Hi, and welcome to Paranormal Captivity. So you want to play Ouija? I've heard, but I want to do some things to help you make this the best experience possible. So today what I want to do is share with you my own personal 5 do's and 5 don'ts of Ouija board playing. So hope you enjoy, hope it helps, and just enjoy the episode, I suppose. So my number 1 for the do's. Protect yourself. Now what I mean by protect yourself is you don't have to sit in a circle of holy water and chant a bunch or do anything you've seen in The Exorcist. Nothing crazy. Protect yourself is just do something that makes you feel centered and grounded and surrounded by positive energy. So it can be a prayer, it could be a meditation, moment of silence, lighting some candles, whatever you want to do to make sure that you feel protected, do it. It's a step that I feel like is really good for getting you in the right mindset for what you're about to do. My number 2 in the do's is to have a positive attitude. I really feel like what you expect is what you get with a Ouija board. So if you expect to have a good time and have fun, you will. If you expect to get the crap scared out of you, it'll happen. So just take some time and just really make sure that you are not in a mode to freak yourself out more than you probably already will, okay? Positive attitude is key. Number 3 on the do's, test authenticity and take notes. So if you get some contact that comes through and it says it's a certain person, feel free to test that. You can ask it if it's the right person. It's not a bad thing. You can take notes and verify it later if it's supposed to be relaying a message to someone else or you have no idea who it is and you want to test to make sure, somebody named this certain name, died in a certain place at a certain time because it's telling you that. Just test it. Couldn't hurt, And then going along with that, my number 4 do is call out BS and don't be afraid to. So if you have something coming through saying it's a certain person, you ask it a question to verify it and it gets the question wrong, don't be afraid to say, yeah, you're not who you say you are. It's not that big of a deal. In my opinion, it's like they have the same kind of mentality that you do, and you're gonna have people who want to just screw around and mess with people and have fun and think it's funny. So I would not take anything too seriously or get too offended or pissed about anything. Just test it. If it's wrong, call it out on its BS and send it on its way. No big deal, okay? My number 5 do is always say goodbye. And I know it's cheesy and it's typical, but it's true. In between each individual contact, say goodbye. Wait for the planchette to move to goodbye. If it doesn't want to say goodbye and it's refusing to and you need to leave or you need to do something or you just don't want to talk to it anymore, after a few seconds, force it down to say goodbye. It's not a big deal. Just do it. And an additional step to that I do, and I don't know how common it is, but it helps me, is I will actually flip the physical board over and rub it on the floor or the surface that I'm playing on and then flip it back over to kind of break that contact and then open it up for a new one. So those are my 5 do's for playing Ouija board. Now here we go with the don'ts, okay? Number 1 don't. It's an easy one. Don't ask when you're gonna die. It's just not smart. And the subconscious mind is very susceptible, and if you genuinely believe on a specific date in so many years since it told you that that's your last day on earth, you could manifest that into it actually being your last day on earth. So just don't ask, because I feel like that's something that's not supposed to be known anyway. So it's a good smart move. Just don't ask, okay? Don't expect too much is my second don't. There's a lot of things out there in the ether and in the media that make people think that Ouija boards are just this crazy thing that you're gonna touch it and your house is gonna catch on fire and you're gonna get possessed by evil and all kinds of stuff. Don't expect that to happen, because it's probably not gonna happen, and if you don't believe in that stuff, it's definitely not gonna happen. So just don't expect too much, and don't expect, if you've never played before, to be able to contact every deceased relative you've ever had, or Elvis, or Cleopatra, or somebody out there. Don't expect too much. It's really a conduit just for the energy that's around you, and it could be anything. So more than likely, it's probably just going to be, like I said before, energies just like you and me who have more fun kind of having fun and screwing around and, you know, doing the same thing you're doing. So just don't expect too much when it comes to this. Number 3 on the don'ts is don't let anything in there act like it's running the show. Don't let it run you over. So what I mean by that is also along with like the won't say goodbye, you're going to have energies that don't want to leave, or that when you say goodbye, they keep coming back. Just don't let it. Be like, no, I'm not having it. Sorry, you can leave. It's your house, it's your board, or if it's not your house, it's your realm. You know, it's your rules. You get to make them. You get to tell people or energies or whatever what to do. So if it's doing something you don't like, don't let it. Just tell it not to. If you need to say goodbye, turn the board over, be done for a while, take a break, do another, you know, protection, energy, uplifting kind of thing before you start again, and that should draw in some better energy around you. Another don't for you, number 4 on the don'ts, is don't ignore recurring messages. You might be getting the weirdest thing that you have never thought of, like if something keeps saying red bouncing ball, and you have no idea what it means, but it's said it like 10 times, write it down. Just take a note of it. Because for all you know, you're going to go tell your friend about this, and that's going to be something that strikes a chord with them, and it's a message that was supposed to be for them in the first place and not you. So if you get recurring messages, you're probably either supposed to relay a message or do some investigation to help make sure something is brought to light and at least somebody knows about it. So don't ignore recurring messages, okay? And my number 5, don't. The biggest and most important one, don't play if you don't want to. It's a game, okay? And I know it's also a tool, and you shouldn't take it lightly. I get that. But it's not a big deal. If all your friends really want to play and it makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, or it steps on your personal boundaries, your religious thoughts, whatever it might be that brings you any level of uncomfortability, just don't play. Don't do it. Now, I did want to also discuss, as you play Ouija, if you're developing like a group that you want to play with often, you might develop a recurring relationship with an energy or entity. In my experience, when I was playing on a regular basis, we had the gatekeeper. And I don't remember this energy's handle, but we called it by the same name every time. We'd ask if it was there. It was. And in between each contact, it would come back and it would talk for a moment, and then it would let something else in. So that might be something that develops naturally on its own. It doesn't have to. It doesn't always happen. But if you do have a recurring relationship that starts to come through, thank it, be polite to it, and appreciate it, because that's probably something that you drew in through your protection, and it's protecting you from anything that you don't want to be in contact with. Along with Ouija, there are some other old-timey ways that you can communicate. The one that comes to mind first is table tipping. I would love to see this have a resurgence. Basically all you do is you find a table. The ones I've used are like flat on top, the legs all meet in the middle into like one pedestal, and then they still have 4 legs like that pop back out at the bottom. You all surround the table, put your hands lightly on the edge like you would on the planchette in Ouija, ask a question, and the entire table will start to tip. And it'll rock back and forth the whole time while you talk, okay? It's the craziest thing ever, and it's super fun if you can get a group together to do it. Whenever you ask the right question or it wants to give you an answer, it'll like hike up on one foot and spin around. It will knock. It'll completely stop motion. It will speed up. It'll start going in circles instead of going side to side. It's super cool. If you've never done it and you're looking for something also along the lines of communication, it's more of just a yes or no, but it is super freaking cool. There are lots of ways that you can do this. Another way that works well for me is if you feel that there's an energy around you or something and you don't have a board near you or a table or another person, just talk to it. Talk to it and see if you get a response. I've had so many times where I've asked for something and you get it. So you get what you ask for. don't be afraid to ask if something's there. What could it hurt? Just do it. It's not a big deal, okay? Last point. I've had a lot of people ask me if I know Zozo or if I've talked to Zozo. I can say yes, I have. Last summer I played. I had never heard of Zozo. My friend asked me if I had heard of Zozo. I said no. He gives me a brief rundown. I still don't know much about it. We play, and the first thing that comes through is Zozo, okay? If you don't know anything about Zozo, you're not going to talk to it. I personally feel like Zozo is much in the same realm as the Slender Man. I think it's something we've created in recent years, and that it's more of like an urban legend than an actual entity. But belief can make anything possible, I suppose. But don't be afraid of Zozo or any other being of legend that might come through your Ouija board or your spirit communication, because I don't feel like that's anything you should fear. And I think it's mostly, again, what you expect. If you expect to talk to something and you've heard of it and that's all you want to talk to, you're probably going to. Whether or not it's actually it, that's up to the individual. I'm not going to tell you what you are or aren't talking to. That's up to you to have fun and to try it out. I hope that I helped some of you along your path to playing with Ouija boards and having fun with such medium as to speaking to things of the other side, or your higher self, or your subconscious, or whatever it is that you think that you are communicating with your Ouija board. But that is totally up to the user to decide, and I hope that you guys are all safe, have fun, record all of your stuff, make memories, because some of the coolest things that I've experienced have been through Ouija board contact. So have fun, be safe, I love you all. And thank you so much for watching. Hi to all of my subscribers and my new subscribers. It's amazing how many of you I have so far, and I love you all. You have no idea. If anybody is new here, welcome. If you want to see more videos about the paranormal, unexplained, strange, supernatural, anything of this realm, I like to talk about ghosts a lot, and I've had a lot of experiences with them. Please subscribe and comment and be a part of this community so that way I can get to know you better, you can get to know me, and hopefully you can hear some of my stories and enjoy them also. So thank you so much for joining me. Have an amazing day, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye!